Two people sit on the same balcony for 20 minutes. One goes inside with 3 itchy bumps. The other looks as if they donated blood to an entire mosquito convention. Same evening, same chairs, same air. So what did the mosquitoes notice that we did not? First, a small correction. Mosquitoes do not bite because they are hungry in the ordinary sense. Both males and females can feed on plant sugars. In the species that bite humans, it is the female that takes blood, because she needs nutrients from it to develop eggs. She is not choosing the sweetest blood. Before she reaches blood, she has to find skin, and she does that with a surprisingly complicated set of sensors. A mosquito searching for a host does not rely on one signal. It combines carbon dioxide from breath, chemicals drifting from skin, body heat, moisture, movement, and visual contrast. Think of it less like a tiny syringe and more like a flying search system. One clue wakes it up, another points it in the right direction, a third tells it where to land. Your breath is one of the first clues. Every exhale releases a plume of carbon dioxide. Mosquitoes can detect changes in that plume and use them to begin searching upwind. A person who is larger, breathing harder, or exercising may create a stronger signal. Jog across a garden, sit down, and you are now warmer, sweatier, and breathing faster. That is a fairly good advertisement. Carbon dioxide does not explain why two quiet people sitting side by side can be treated so differently. At close range, skin odor becomes much more important. Human skin releases hundreds of chemicals. Sweat contributes some. Skin oils contribute others. Then bacteria living on the skin transform many of those compounds into new airborne molecules. The result is a personal chemical cloud that changes from one person to another. A 2022 study published in Cell tested this in a very direct way. Volunteers wore nylon sleeves on their forearms, leaving their skin odor on the fabric. Researchers then gave female Aedes aegypti mosquitoes a choice between samples. Some people were consistently far more attractive than others, and those rankings stayed surprisingly stable across repeated tests. Temperature and exhaled carbon dioxide were not part of the choice. The mosquitoes were responding to odor collected on nylon. The strongest mosquito magnets in that study had higher levels of several carboxylic acids on their skin. These are common compounds produced through normal skin chemistry. They are not dirt, and they do not mean that someone has poor hygiene. Washing may temporarily change the surface mixture, but your skin begins rebuilding its chemical profile almost immediately. A shower at 6 does not necessarily rewrite who you are to a mosquito at 8. A worn t-shirt makes the point in a boring way. Two shirts can look equally clean, yet smell completely different after an hour because the wearers have different skin oils, sweat composition, and skin microbes. Mosquitoes are sensitive to parts of that difference that a human nose may barely notice. Fine, but this gets messy fast. Different mosquito species do not all respond to exactly the same odor blend. The skin microbiome matters because many human odors are partly microbial products. Bacteria from groups such as Staphylococcus and Corynebacterium live normally on skin and process substances in sweat and sebum. Their populations differ by body site and by person. Feet, ankles, hands, and armpits are not chemically identical neighborhoods. That may help explain why some mosquitoes circle low and attack ankles, while others seem happy with an exposed forearm. Genes may influence this system too. In a 2015 twin study, researchers compared mosquito responses to odors from the hands of identical and non-identical twins. Identical twins were more similar in attractiveness than non-identical twins, suggesting that inherited factors help shape the odor signals mosquitoes detect. It was a relatively small laboratory study, so it did not identify a single mosquito magnet gene. Still, it supports something many families suspect after one summer barbecue. Susceptibility can run in the family. Then, there is heat. Once a mosquito is close, warm skin helps it identify a living host and choose a landing spot. Exercise raises skin temperature and increases sweat. Pregnancy can change several relevant cues at once. In a well-known study in The Lancet, Pregnant women attracted more Anopheles gambiae mosquitoes than non-pregnant women. The researchers discussed higher heat and greater carbon dioxide output as likely contributors. That result came from a particular population and malaria vector species, so it should not be turned into a universal rule for every mosquito in every country. The practical concern is real, though, because pregnancy also makes prevention of mosquito-borne disease especially important in affected regions. Clothing can change the search as well. In wind tunnel experiments with Aedes aegypti, carbon dioxide switched on strong visual interest in certain colors and wavelengths, including orange-red tones reflected by human skin. Dark objects can also provide strong contrast. This does not mean that a red shirt guarantees bites, or that a white shirt makes someone invisible. Visual preference varies by species, lighting, background, and whether odor cues are present. A loose, light-colored long sleeve helps mostly because it covers skin and is harder to bite through, not because it performs mosquito mind control. What about blood type? This is the famous answer because it is simple. One 2004 study found that Aedes albopictus landed more often on people with type O blood than on people with type A in a set of 64 landing tests. That is interesting, but it is a narrow experiment with one species, and blood type is not floating through the garden as a large sign. A mosquito must first reach you using breath, odor, heat, and vision. Reviews of the evidence describe blood type results as limited or inconsistent. So type O may influence attraction in some settings, but it is not a master explanation. Alcohol gets similar treatment online. A small study reported increased attraction after beer consumption, but that result is often repeated as if every drink turns a person into a beacon. Alcohol can alter skin temperature, blood flow, breath, and odor, yet the size and reliability of the effect are not well established across species and real-world conditions. The honest answer is less exciting. It might matter, but we cannot rank it beside skin odor with the same confidence. Perfume, scented soap, deodorant, and laundry products can also modify the odor cloud. Sometimes a product may mask an attractive compound. Sometimes it adds another compound a mosquito likes. Tests of soaps have found that the same product can affect different people differently because the soap mixes with the chemistry already on the skin. So the advice, use floral soap, or never use floral soap, is too neat. A coconut-scented body wash is not a laboratory-grade shield. There is another reason one person may seem more bitten. People do not react equally. A bite injects saliva containing compounds that help the mosquito feed. Your immune system responds, producing the familiar swelling and itch. One person may develop a bright, raised welt from nearly every bite. Another may show a tiny mark or almost nothing. Counting visible bumps the next morning is therefore not a perfect count of mosquito landings. Location matters too. The person beside the hedge may be closer to a cool, humid resting area. The person in shorts offers more accessible skin. A fan may protect one side of the table because mosquitoes are weak flyers, and moving air disrupts both flight and odor plumes. Even the chair matters if one is under the table in shadow and the other is in open air. Same barbecue, not quite the same exposure. And the mosquito matters. Aedes aegypti often bites during the day and strongly prefers humans. Many Culex mosquitoes are more active from evening into night. Anopheles species have their own patterns and odor preferences. A factor demonstrated in one species should not automatically be applied to all of them. There are thousands of mosquito species, and only a fraction regularly bite humans. You cannot change your genes, blood type, or basic skin chemistry before a picnic. You can make the final steps of the mosquito search much harder. Use a proven repellent according to its label, such as products containing DEET, picaridin, IR 3535, oil of lemon eucalyptus, or PMD where age guidance allows, or 2-undecanone. Cover exposed skin with loose clothing. Repair window screens. Use a fan when practical. Empty standing water from buckets, plant saucers, toys, and clogged gutters so fewer mosquitoes develop nearby. A bottle cap holding rainwater looks trivial. For some container-breeding mosquitoes, small collections of water are enough to support larvae. Tip it out. Scrub the container if eggs may be stuck to the sides. That sounds minor, but it matters more than arguing about whether mosquitoes prefer vanilla perfume. So why do mosquitoes bite some people more? Usually because one person produces a stronger combination of cues: a more attractive skin odor, more carbon dioxide, more heat, more moisture, better visual contrast, or simply more reachable skin. Skin chemistry appears to be one of the biggest reasons the difference can remain consistent over time. Blood type, diet, pregnancy, exercise, products on the skin, and genetics may modify the picture, but none works alone. To us, two people on a balcony may look nearly identical. To a mosquito, they are two moving clouds of heat and chemistry, broadcasting different signals into the air. One signal says there is a host nearby. The full mixture decides who gets found first.
Thanks for watching! If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. See you in the next one!